G'day and welcome to the Making It With Myles podcast, where we talk about all things related to building and construction and the real estate industry through the lens of a building inspector. We have two formats to the podcast: the shed, which obviously, as you can understand from the name, we talk about all those things. Then we have the journey, which we talk about more so personal development things. I personally believe we all get better, work together as a team, we all come together with good intent, society will get better. And guess what? We fucking need that. So we dabble in that every now and then. On this episode, we're going to be talking about some updates within the building inspection industry, which I am thoroughly excited about. I'm frothing about it, not going to lie, because this is needed and needs some change. We need some things fixed because at the moment, this industry is an absolute joke, I believe, okay, because it's unregulated. There's nothing really putting any sort of control measures in place. And some of these individuals inspecting homes have pretty well fuck all experience, and they're taking clients for a ride, providing shit quality reports that provide no information to first home buyers that might be forking out $800,000, and they're giving them bump steers, getting into disputes, issues, dramas, all right? Drama. And what we don't want is fucking drama. So what is occurring at the moment, and I'm super pumped about it, is the Australian standards are being drafted and being updated. So the standards, and for anyone that's not in the building inspection industry, that's cool. You can get to learn a little bit out of this, what's happening here at the moment, because it is worth understanding and knowing about. If you're a builder, if you are like a chippy in that sort of space and you're interested somewhat in this inspection industry, listen in as well, because there'll be some things I believe in the direction that we're going to go, and I fucking hope that we can bring this ship around, steer it back in the right direction, and fix the problems we're facing at the moment. So the Australian standards that are being drafted as we speak is Australian Standard 4349. All right, there's 0.0, 1, 2, and 3, and these are the ones that we work from. Okay, so there's the Timbers Pest inspections in there. We've got group title properties, pre-purchase inspection, residential buildings, and then general requirements. So pretty much the way in which we create our pre-purchase building and timber pest inspection reports are reflected around these standards. Okay, this is what we are told how to go about it and how we're meant to do all the things, and it's being updated as we speak. So there is a decent list of nominated organisations that are a part of the committee to update the inspections, the building inspections Australian standards. So currently they're in drafting phases. Public comment will be ready by the 29th of April 2026, yonks away. And then they're projecting that the published updated version will be ready by the 23rd of April 2027. Okay, so this is a long, drawn-out process, which is fair and reasonable. You've got to get all these different heads together to actually come to with a conclusion. But I really, really, really am excited about this and want everyone that is a building inspector or knows anyone within this space to be around this. Okay, if you are a individual that's interested in the space, get around this, get onto the Australian standards, connect. There's like a public comment thing. I've never really been a part of any of this shit, so I don't really know what the fuck happens, but I'm learning more about it. But when it comes to public comment, and I'm going to try to speak to these people earlier, I've already tried to connect to a few anyway now, and just get some clarity around sort of what direction they're sort of looking to go towards. One of the biggest challenges we face within this industry is there's no real clear qualification or requirement to becoming a building inspector for pre-purchase. Okay, so now the way I look at it, there's kind of two areas of the inspection industry currently. You've got on a big grand scale, you've got your pool inspections, but from a building perspective, you've got your new homes and then you've got your old homes, basically. Both of these industries, there's no clear registration or anything that is required to undertake these inspections and charge people to do the job. Okay, which I think is a piss take, to be honest. Now, I'm hoping as we go through this that they come to a conclusion that we need obviously registered people that know their shit, that can actually provide adequate information to help improve this space. With regards to the new home inspection industry, that's a little bit different because it works on codes and standards. Like you've got some sort of documentation or building science that you can actually fall back to and show, right, this is wrong because of this. This is defective because of this, and this. And you can actually show evidence-based. With regards to pre-purchase, it's a different ballgame. there's properties that have all different ages, different locations. There's different soil types. There's different situations. There's different structural elements, different material. Like, it's an absolute mess. Okay, and the people that do jobs like this need to have a really good understanding of how building works. So that's why most of the industries are trying to push towards registered builders are the ones that actually get out there, and are the ones that do these building inspection reports themselves for pre-purchase. I like that idea. I really do like that idea. I think it's great. In Victoria, to get your builder's license, it might be a DBL or something like that. It's a little bit easier. Most of these states and most of these individuals that work within the space who are good quality building inspectors are registered builders, meaning like they've got their DBU. There's someone that can build homes, all right? Because they have gone through hell to get to those licenses. Well, in Victoria, it's a pain in the ass, I must admit. So, like the proof of competency to show all aspects of construction is needed. I believe it really is needed. The one thing I want to get across with regards to how important this is that they're registered builders is that you really need this good scope of what goes into a home. So when I walk into a property, because I've been blessed to have slaved on many different types of properties, from your brand new sexy schmicko homes to your period fucking pain in the ass quadruple brick old joints you're cutting through with bricks for years on end. You got bluestone footings. You might have just your standard concrete stumps, brick piers. It's just endless, the types of building. But when you work on it and you understand it, you pull it apart, you build it, you rebuild it. When you get to these inspections, you just sort of can look through the walls. You know what you're looking at. You can see how those things have been built. And you can't learn that at school from just a course. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. You need to be in the field. I am very interested to know what direction they're going to go in. So keep on board with it. If you're interested in it, go to Standards Australia. You can sign up to it, and they'll just keep you updated on what's going on. But these are the nominated organisations that we're going to go through. These are the people that are going to determine the rest of this industry. And I must admit, my faith is in them, and I want to meet these people because I want to make sure that they hear all of us inspectors, because I have a good group now of inspectors who are quality gentlemen, and we all want the same thing. We all just want clear registration of these specialised trades to protect the buyers and consumers, and to protect the industry and give it a decent standard, okay? This is why Oz Property Report, as we scale our inspectors, is we're setting a standard. We don't want underqualified individuals that may have insurances. We want builders that know what they're talking about, so they can service the consumer buying or selling a house, and they're protected knowing that these guys have a good skill set. They know what they're talking about. Let's go through these nominated organisations. So we've got Independent Chairperson Australia. Cool, someone. Think Brick Australia. Interesting. Consult Australia. The Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors. Well, that's an international organisation, that one. The Australian Roof Tile Association. Fair enough. Strata Community Australia. Yes. HIA. Yes. Australian Institute of Building Surveyors. Very important. Master Builders Australia. Yes. Australian Institute of Building. Australian Institute of Architects. Institute of Building Consultants. That'll be interested. That's one thing at the moment I'm sort of looking into, is with regards to the VBA and where they're at with their building consultant registration and how that looks. Okay, this registration here in Victoria is sort of what we need personally to like fill the gap of what we could call a pre-purchase inspector. Okay, they need to be as qualified as a registered building practitioner, but they're not out here with their registration to build projects and do estimating and things like that. So this is sort of too far, but they still have the knowledge base to set that role. So if anyone knows anyone within the VBA, I'm trying my bloody best to get onto them. It's painful, and I'm trying all avenues. If anyone knows of anyone, or you're listening and you work in there, please DM me, get in contact with me. Fucking need to talk to you people, because I need to make sure that the direction I'm building my company is in line with what you guys are doing. Anyway, I'm getting off topic. We've also got the Property Council of Australia, Building Commission New South Wales, yes. Australian Glass Window Association, fair enough. Engineers Australia, yes. I've got some comments for you guys. Concrete Masonry Association of Australia, bloody oath. Australian Institute of Building Surveyors, yes. Australian Environmental Pest Managers Associated, yep. Individual expert, and then Inspect WA. Inspect WA, I found them out the other day. Andrew Booth, the chairman. These guys are what I'm talking about. All right, these guys in WA, they're a group of registered builders, and they want to see quality within their industry. Fucking all about it. That's what we want. A couple of things that I can see, or the couple of things that I hope will sort of come out of this is, again, the registration of these individuals and their qualifications and what's required Australia-wide. Each state, some areas have tried to implement things to bring that up, but there's no real Australia-wide qualification. Something else I'd sort of like to get some more clarity on with regards to this space is the major defects, the definitions of that, minor defects, how these are contributed into the contract of sale. This is where I think the real estate industry should really be a part of this as well, because they're the ones that are impacted. They're really impacted by this. So the way in which we write our reports needs to reflect their contract of sale, which can reflect how the buyer can get out of a house. So in some states, it's just up to the discretion of the buyer. They get a report. There might be no major issues, and there's a couple of windows or the floor might have some squeaks. And based on that report, if the buyer is not satisfied with the property based on the report, then they can exit the contract, which is an absolute piss take. That shouldn't be happening. You can't exit a fucking house just by a minor defect. Okay, it's got to be something significant. All right, if you're going to go into contract for something, you're pretty keen on it. It needs to be something very significant that's going to impact that. And there's a few things that I've been coming across lately, just trying to get clear on terms and the understanding of what's acceptable and what's not acceptable for homes that are existing, floor levels being out, to what extent is it major or minor, there's minor settlement, major settlement. And I really hope that by the end of this, and this is where I'm going to be pushing, is that we can get all these questions answered. So by the time this is closed out in 2027, we have a fucking ripper, clean Australia-wide blueprint to work from that's really going to ensure that there's qualified individuals a part of it and that their reports are going to reflect the changes and really provide more clarity and just transparency for these individuals, because it comes down to the inspector themselves and their interpretation of what they see is all we can sort of fall back to. There's no science, there's no building science that helps steer these in the right direction. When is a wall too far out of plumb? When is something too rotten? When is something, how much fall to a house is too much? There's so much. It's all based on interpretation. That's why they need to be skilled individuals to understand the way in which construction works. But also, there's a few times we need to get clear on what a major defect and minor defect is. It's pretty funny. A major defect, if you read the definition itself, just a leaky tap technically could be put as a major defect. If you really spin the words, which is what law's all about, you could push that 100%. If you don't do anything with regards to this issue, it can lead to a major issue which can majorly impact the home and cause significant damages, which it could 100%. If a leaky tap turns into a full-on blown water leak and then it floods the property, well, you could argue that's the point. But me as a building inspector, I find I struggle to put a leaky tap as a major building defect, because everyone will just take the piss and laugh, because it is a bit of a joke. So I'll be interested to see how they come out the back end of this. But outside of that, that's just some updates with regards to the building inspection industry itself. Keep updated with it. I'll be keeping updates on it as well anyway. Outside of that, have yourself a lovely bloody ripper afternoon. If there's any of this was valuable to anyone or a building inspector within the space, flick it their way so they're all about it and they know what's going on. And outside of that, have yourself a lovely day. Chat soon. Hooroo. Take it sleazy.